Hello everybody, welcome to the weekend where we discuss anything from the community, stuff that maybe is too large of a topic to discuss in an MCN, but something that seems to be a bit of a running amok at the moment, are players using hacks, mods, cheats, or not knowing that the people that they've paid to do the content are using hacks, mods and cheats. Necropolis is a bit of a big issue at the moment. I'm doing it stressfully and over the weekend and it's costing me units and I'm getting bored in it, but I'm doing it, okay? I'm devoting that time to it. I'm a non-spending player and I want to get it done, okay? And I'll do it by whatever means necessary, switching between mastery loadouts, between the double-edged liquid courage and standard ones, depending how the fight fits. I've done 2 so far. I am planning into going, I do one a week, really, because I just get bored off my tits, to be honest. There's a lot of other things I prefer more in game, but yeah. And I'm planning to do this and get this done by the end of January, or at least the first week of February, and then I'll be like, yay, I got myself a tier 7 basic and I worked hard to achieve it. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to pay somebody to do that. This is where we're going to bring in this story into discussion and why it takes so many twists and turns, and Kabam drop receipts when it comes to Necropolis-based scanning and the data that comes from it. It's a really interesting thing. Join us as we go on this particular journey. The player here that seems to be a friend, a lot of people will trust their friends to say that, hey, you know, I'm trustworthy. What I did was fine. And they said they're in the UK, and probably mostly this ban is something to do with the fact that there was in Mexico, the account was operated in Mexico. Again, I'm paraphrasing here, and the algorithm of the game, by the way, exchanged the account with someone overseas, and of course that sets about a red flag for the account itself. Ultimately, for a lot of players, what they will do that use things like merc services, they will, allow people to operate their account, and of course that will ping in a different place. They may use a VPN. They also will highly likely, not all the time, but most of the time, run a cheat. Not for, say, one fight, but maybe, not for like all the fights, but maybe like 1 or 2 of them, because they want to save their time. They'll take your account, they'll go and operate a mod service on it, and they'll not kind of like do it. They'll ping up the scanners for things like Necropolis. And this rears its ugly head several different times, mostly when it comes to something like, new meta-based rewards. The 7-star, no, the rank, what am I talking about? The tier 7 basic, get to it. Tier 7 basic is currently a chase meta item. For non-spending players, it is a very big chase item. It's a big chase item for me because even if I spent all my units, if I took my additional 15,000 units, I would not get close to getting myself a high volume, or at least one fully formed tier 7 basic. Now, I know people wanted to get what they wanted to out of the banquet event, but what I wanted to get is tier 7 basic material, and I didn't get that. I got 630 catalyst fragments of tier 7 basic, so trying to get myself that. And if there's a new progression, this will be a short-term loss for a long-term gain even. A long-term gain in the game. But of course, when it comes to any different type of trust, you have to trust in your friends. If your friends say to you, I did not cheat, but maybe have receipts, then that could be a different type of, element to it. I mean, if this player is saying that they can easily prove that they were on holiday in Mexico, for example, then yeah, okay, then that may kind of like pinpoint that this could be a issue based on location. I mean, here's a good example. I was cruising in the North Sea playing Marvel Contest of Champions. I went to Norway. I had no issues, but I operated my account. I didn't record any content, even though I made a new intro to kind of go MCOC at sea, which I never used. I never made a Marvel Contest of Champions video out of Norway. I think I'll try and do that next time if I go on a cruise, because I had Elon Musk's special internet thing, so I should have done that, but I decided not to. I decided to actually have a holiday and a break. Either way, I didn't ping up on a problem. Even M played her account on her phone whilst we were away. So there's a big, okay, well, we did it fine, but, and even my cousin goes abroad, he plays the game, he hasn't had any issues with it. So it's all very bizarre, isn't it? Also, New York Comic Con 2019. I forgot about that. I played the game whilst there. I think even opened some crystals there. I did coverage there. There was a lot of other people from UK and other countries like France, and they didn't get banned whilst they were at New York Comic Con. Yes, the tech could have changed and the way that it'd be scanned can... There are instances where Kabam do get it wrong, and the scanners' computers, they do get it wrong. There is a margin for error, but it's very, very fine. Now, going further with this story of this ban situation, yes, we do have, this is the screen right here to say that a terms of service violation has been executed and the account is permanently banned or closed. Sad times. And at this point, you're probably going, yeah, it's an open and shut case. It looks like they have cheated in Necropolis trying to do some of these challenges, which a lot of us are putting that time and effort into. A lot of people, will do it like mine. They'll just do units. They'll kind of blast through it whenever they've got revive and health potions. They're trying to get it quickly because they want to make, gains as a non-spending player, or they're incredibly skilled and do a fantastic job. And I've seen some fantastic players in this community just blast through it. Some were 7 stars, and I'm jealous that you've got some of the 7 stars I'd like, because it was a bit of a slog using some 6 stars at lower ranks, and I'm forcing myself to rank up stuff, but hey ho, here we go. The support ticket is there to indicate that this is due to Everest content suspensions, because it's, related to that, and it is being pinged up by the new kind of War on Cheaters system, which is back over a year ago when Kabam implemented this. Back when this was just before the launch of Necropolis for the very first time. Very stressful piece of content doing it the first time. Yes, I did use Aegon first time round. Doing it second time round with a load of other champions is somewhat stressful. Yes, there are 7 stars at rank 3. Yes, it does. It makes it a little bit more palatable in certain regards. Other types using certain champions are like, I wish I had a 7-star rank 3 version. But if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And Kabam crashed in these situations because he does appear in this, and it is just golden with the info. In previous times, he said, back in August of 2024, funny enough, you definitely cheated in Necropolis. Anti-cheat is still rolling with 100% specificity. And that is, wow, okay. But that's back in August, and we're in January now, waiting to find out what's happening with this situation. And with many players surmising as to what was the transaction, this player or account, whatever, it's obviously spends on things like banquet event or in-game items and stuff, and if they were so desperate for a tier 7 basic, maybe just do the content. If they had the money to do it but didn't have the time, then maybe find the time. I know it's long and boring, and that's probably why a lot of people are resorting to going to use some of these services to get them through stuff, including mods, cheats and hacks. But if they are willing to spend a lot of money, why not just kind of spend that money instead of banquet event on some guaranteed stuff? I'd probably take that amount right there. Maybe it's $200-300 possibly, and do it yourself. Slog through it. If you're not very skilled, then who cares? Just get through it. That's the main thing about MCOC. You can get to this stuff, you've just got to rough it out, sadly. And this is where Kabam Crashed comes in, and this is when we start getting the information, because I had to bring you on a journey to bring you up to a certain point. And of course we need to validate what is actually being said, rather than surmising, hey, it's a cheater, cheat, mods, or mercs. So Kabam Crash said on January 4th, it looks like my Necropolis fight dashboard stopped updating over the break, so I have to wait for the data team to give it a kick Monday. But based on the comment, the autoban left this account, I am expecting gold. At the end of the day, this player, as we were waiting for Kabam Crashed info, was pretty kind of backing their friend. I mean, it's good to have a bit of loyalty nowadays. Loyalty is very hard to come by nowadays. People turn on people just so quickly until they know, well, if they don't know the facts, they turn on them very quickly and don't wait until all kind of facts and information comes through. Anyway, it was good to see that people were still looking through this and going, not quite sure about this. Also, someone said that people from the UK are superior English speakers and writers. No, I mean, if you've been watching my channel for years, you kind of go, oh, you make so many mistakes here. Yeah, I'm just overworked at the end of the day. Just overworked a lot of the time, and unfortunately, that's what happens if you work a lot of hours in the day. Things start not dragging you down, but your level of concentration goes. I'm on my second cup of coffee of the day, and these are big cups of coffee to keep myself awake and alert as much as possible. I need to get back to exercising. Maybe it'll keep me more mentally alert and better, just better in general. This is where the story takes a little bit of a twist, and the player that had the banned account actually drops into chat to say, I am actually reading this and literally I can't believe my eyes. Let me make one thing clear, I never use cheats, no bots, no aims, no apps, nothing whatsoever. That's why we are making a fuss, and as player is actually being a good friend because we play together and aim to get better every time. That's weird as well to say, like, we play every time. That's a bit of a red flag right there. You might have kind of like said that you might have, when you say play together, you mean share accounts. That's why I will never use any kind of cheats. I swear I woke up in the morning and it was gone. I haven't done any Necropolis, but the one line I did in January last year, and AI do not understand why this happened. That makes no sense whatsoever. And saying you did it last year, again, is very bizarre. I haven't done any Necropolis, but the one line I did in January last year, I mean, that makes no sense whatsoever. He is worried that it might be something wrong and it might happen to him to the community. I didn't use anything. Please understand that this is actually something really bad. I didn't put money just now. I invested a whole lot of more, not to mention the annoying fight with my wife because of it. It came crashing down on me. I am not just saying that I didn't cheat. I really haven't. I really hope they're not from the UK, because I'd just be embarrassed by that. I'm not saying I'm the greatest, writer or kind of like speaker from the UK, but I would be like, what the heck is that? There's a lot of kind of like pitfalls right there. Anyway, the great thing about this is the kind of snapback from Kabam Crashed, who drops this. So first of all, it is down as GMT, so it could be something like 5 p.m. GMT, so 5 p.m. my time. Also, it says F finished, and it says at the end of it, Necropolis quest, Profound Sadness. I don't know if that's the name of the quest. And 119, whatever that is. But I love the fact, and this is why I appreciate what Kabam Crash does when he drops in to give information. The information is a 7-star Sunspot, 7-star Domino, 7-star Onslaught, 7-star Storm, Pyramid X, and a 6-star Old Man Logan were used in that quest. There's nothing completely ridiculous about that from a perspective of doing it, but wow, like, that raises questions, doesn't it? Now, this was a 13-page, before it got closed, thread, and it is just littered with so many spicy and weird things. Here's like, after the fact, we then got this. I'm confused myself. He said, his friend, by the way, he said that a year ago he did Necropolis, then today he checked on the forums and apparently he logged into someone else's phone by mistake, but he doesn't remember precisely. And then he also talked to a guy and only got his phone by mistake when he left, and he had to give it back. Doesn't add up either. So even I think his friend is going like, what the heck is going on with this? So this is where things, and we're going to bring this all to a close because, wow. Alright, to put a bow on this, my dashboard is fixed and it does indeed include gold. Despite having Onslaught on the team, he was only used for 2 fights. The majority of the path was soloed by Domino, including some truly wild matchups. The case is closed. There's still mystery surrounding, like, what was the deal with the Mexico side of things? What was the deal with the person not being able to do the fights themselves, including what these wild matchups were, and what seemed to be very easy takedowns in certain elements, which, I'm not saying Domino can't do those fights. I did a lot of them with Mr. Sinister and Onslaught when I did my run, and I found that was one of the better kind of like 2 to use. Mr. Sinister more so with a double-edged Liquid Courage Mastery, and of course that degen based damage, which is just incredible to clear and have a bit of fun. And this should serve as a warning to anybody thinking about either using services elsewhere. Yes, there may be the question about using a VPN, but if I remember rightly, wasn't Abyss of Legends, or was it the first run in Necropolis, done by Seaton in like Mexico, and his account wasn't banned and was fine? So there must be some sort of elements of cheats, and especially if Kabam Crash is saying that the majority of the path was soloed by Dono, including some truly wild matchups, whatever those wild matchups were, that could be the thing that goes, hey, wasn't somebody using a hack or a cheat at the time? Especially going, well, that wouldn't necessarily work in that situation. So we won't really know everything, but there is indeed gold to kind of give us a picture of all of this. This was a crazy 13-page, a lot of activity from the community read, and of course, a friend backing another friend, but at the same time, there's the evidence and the receipts to show that something wasn't right. Do you still believe that this is legit, that they got banned unfairly, or do you think the ban was warranted? Your thoughts in the comments. This was a bit too large of a topic to discuss in an MCN because I like to do 2 minutes per topic in the MCN. So yes, we'll see what is happening next week. Crazy times. Thank you very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.